Hello people, welcome back to my channel. So hope you are enjoying the Python skill series so far. We have started with the pandas library from the last video. So this will be a second part. Probably there will be one more part, or even after that we'll have one more section for pandas. So in today's section we'll be seeing some of the data manipulations that are observed, or which is done when we do the data pre-processing using pandas. For that, first we have something called as filtering. We use the same data set, that is we have the OLA rights, and to this data set I have done a small modification, that is I have added one more uh, column, that is outstation. Means outstation is something like if we do the traveling within the city, then that is not outstation, but if we travel from one city to another city outside, so that becomes outstation. So this is a small kind of domain knowledge which you require from the engineer or someone who have this expert. So then only you can do certain kind of meaningful results onto this. So back to our discussion. We have our data set here. Just make sure that you have onto your collaboratory. Now just read this. And so I have done a df.head is equal to 100. So it will show some results that starts from 0 to 100. So you can see the outstation column that I have added, and then you have some sources and categories we have seen in the previous video. And then you can make out you have some NaN values, that is not a number. So you have many occurrences, so that is nothing but you have many empty spaces which is observed here. So also here you have many empty spaces. So if there is occurrence of empty spaces, so that will be assigned as NaN, that is not a number. Else if it is like manually entered by the data entry specialist or someone who is managing this, so it will be Na, so not applicable. So these are the two differences, that is when data entry stuffs are done, or the people who do the data entry jobs, from them there may be some kind of missing values or typing mistakes that might happen. So you have to keep in mind about these things when you deal with the data frames. Now we just start with the filtering. So filtering is to give a restricted view of your data set, so that it will give you some meaningful insights to draw your business value, or to your customer you can explain, okay, based upon that we have taken this decision or something like that. Okay, first what we do is we'll find certain rides that are larger than 20 miles. Means if you observe this, that is we have this from to, that is the date which is in date format, then you have category, then you have source, destination, and then you have the miles category. So in miles, it's a numeric column, that is real valued. Also price per miles, that is also numeric column. We are not dealing with that, we are talking about the miles. So according to our question, we want to find those rides, or our requirement from the customer is that they want a view, or they want to see the result, a restricted view to find the rides that are larger than 20 miles. So basically what you do is, as we mentioned, or as I mentioned in the last time, we have this lock and ilock. So ilock is mostly deprecated, not deprecated, in fact we don't go for the positional indexing, but instead we go for label based indexing. So for that we mainly use the ilock. So in ilock what I put is, I want to access this particular column. So this particular column is nothing but miles. So in Excel, you can see this as a column, but in pandas, as I mentioned, these are nothing but series. So everything is considered as a data frame. So it is in a frame of objects. So everything, each and every column, that is considered as a data frame. So if you want to project this particular uh, miles or any of these columns, you have to call by means of df, and inside that you are passing a list. So consider this as a list, so that represents your data frame. So in that I'm passing miles because that is my name of the column, or here that is the name of my series. And to that I'm applying a conditional operator, so relational operator, like whatever miles value is there, that will be greater than 20, so it will basically project that. So you can see the result, so whatever is there, so mile 63.7, 40.2, you can just check, cross check by yourself, like whether this condition has been applied or not. And so if you have any other values which are or similar to miles, in fact in the real data set it will be not there, but then this is the kind of operation that you do. And so if you want to give your customer only this view, or if he says like I want this, but it should be shown separately, means whatever result you apply, means miles should be there, but he wants only this particular column, that is miles column, and he don't want to see any other view. So for that you basically use this. So we have learned that log takes two things. So in the first part we have this row, whatever rows it has, and the second is the column, so that we kept as optional. So here, since our customer wants the miles, if we do this, so whatever index or whatever row number accordingly it was here, that is by default it will display that along with the miles. So he'll get basically what all rows satisfy this condition. Else if he wants in this way, so you can give anyway. And this comma, mind you, here doesn't make any difference, so just make sure like that absolutely works perfect with this. There is no issue with that. Okay, so that was the first kind of operation that we have done. Now second kind of operation is the same way. Now we want to put the condition on the miles, and we want to project, our customer wants two columns. He wants miles as well as the source. So first remember, on the first part, left hand side, always you have the condition on that particular column, and then if you want to project only specific columns or series, that will be put in a list. If you have multiple, it will be put in a list. Even if it is single, you will put in a list, because everything is considered in a data frame. So it will give you all the results, or pull out all the results satisfying this particular condition, that is greater than 20, including miles as well as the source. So that was the same thing we have discussed here before. Now what I want to do is, I'll do another kind of relational operation, that is I'll check uh, whether I want to the customer wants like what all trips like to a particular location was made, like I want all the trips like to Manhattan, like what was the destination. So since our destination column is like Manhattan, so find trips to a particular location, means not, we are not talking about this, but we are talking about the destination. So just keep in mind that these things matters very much, like what customer wants, like to or from a particular location. So my destination would be Manhattan, or the condition inside this that will be applied on this destination. So if I run this, I get all the destinations with Manhattan. So uh, this is all the uh, source as well as the destination column that satisfies this. If he gave a different, like if I put Magdeburg, and if I give this, then probably there is nothing that goes into this, and so you don't get any meaningful result. uh, so let's see, like if we have any, okay, we'll put destination is equal to Krakow. Hmm, even that is also not satisfied. So you have to check with the customer, like what data you want, and accordingly you'll just project that. Next, you want to find trips to or from a specific location. So now what I want is, I want to find all the columns, or I want to see the results where there are two particular locations. means the source should be from Magdeburg as well as from Krakow. Means if I run this, I'll get all the um, data, that is where the source is from Krakow, and somewhere below you have destination as the Magdeburg. So if I do head of 1000, probably will get that view. Okay, 50. So somewhere in between we have this, but yeah. So we have this filtering condition here that is done, or else if we have say um, let's put some other name. So if I have say New York, so see, you can see New York here because not many occurrences of New York are there. That's why we got this. But this will be dependent upon customer how he wants the result. On based upon that, you have to fetch this particular result. So if you have two locations, so you will give this way. And so mind you, like uh, if you have uh, two results, or if you want to project two results in uh, the separate list, or say here if you want to just only want I want just only miles here, so this is just miles satisfying this particular condition, else it will be different. So here I have to put one, yeah. So this is where the is-in method is there. So is-in is a method that it takes two different values. And now what I want is I want to find the trips from specific locations with the distances more than 20 miles. So here I have a condition I'll put, that is so this is my original operation. So here df of miles and applying the condition on that specific data frame on that column. So I'll write this, and there is one more condition with distances more than 20 miles. So that is satisfied by this, that is left hand side. And we want to find the source that is in all these places, that is Magdeburg, Palm Beach and Tessenau Street. So that is like you are clubbing the thing which you have learned before this thing and along with easing. So hope you are getting the gist of this operations that we are doing. So with this you get this kind of result. Now just what we do is we'll just remove this. Okay, it should satisfy all these three conditions. Okay, we got this. So now, if you just look into this particular data frame, you can see that the indexes, that is it is 36, 324, 335, 848, like this. Now, what I want to do is I want to renumber this from 0. So how will I do that? So for resetting the index, basically you basically want to put into your data frame. So now you may want to extract into a data frame. So I'm putting into new df, and into new df I'm resetting the index. So while you reset the index, you say in place is equal to true. So I'll just run this, and if I call new df, see now here you can see the index has been resetted 0 1 2 3. but the old index is preserved. Now I don't want the old index, so for doing that you mention drop is equal to true. So it will drop the old index that was there previously. So you can see the new index, it was resetted, you can see only that, but it will drop the old index. So this was a basic kind of operation that is commonly used in all these practices when you extract the data. So next we move on to something called as missing value treatment. So from the beginning we have been seeing like there are many NaN values, or there are many empty spaces that is there in between all these things. So how to remove that basically? So is there any inbuilt method or functionality which is applied, or is it applicable? So there is one particular method that is called as fill NA. So you can see like in place of uh, outstation we have some places where yes and some places no, and some places it is empty. So what I want to do is I want to fill all those empty spaces with not mentioned. Like now here it will be outstation. So in outstation, so in fill NA basically I'm passing a dictionary, and to this dictionary I have a key value pair, and to this key value pair the value that I'm passing is name of the column, that is outstation, and the value is there, key is the outstation, value is not mentioned. So if I run this and if I do a df, so you can see like outstation, you can see that is not mentioned, that is appeared. Now this will be changed in the original data frame. So if you do a df dot head of 100, you can see the changes have been reflected in the original data frame. So this is some kind of missing value treatment that you do. Sometimes you may also do the drop NA, but that will be ignoring all these things. But if you want to consider this thing, then you have to use the fill NA, or from the data scientist or person who is doing this from his side, he'll be inputting some value, not manually from the Excel sheets, but from the Pandas library. So these are the different functionalities that are available with Pandas. Next, we have some method called as, or in fact, a data manipulation activity that is sorting. So it will sort the values from smallest to largest. Like you have this particular function that is sort values. So it will sort the values by miles. So this is one data frame. And to this, there is a parameter that is ascending. So ascending true means it will sort all the values, that is from smallest to largest. If this is false, then it will be from largest to smallest. It will be reverse of this thing. So that operation you can do, but this is more or less not done, just to see like instead you can do from here manually, from like doing this Excel operations, but this is how you basically code it and check. Next, if you want to do multiple sorting on the columns, this was just with one column. If you want to do with multiple columns, you basically pass a list over this. So with comma separated with one more column name you have, and you put the ascending is equal to true and false. Means one column you want to sort in smaller to large, and some column you want to sort in the reverse way. So when I run this, you get this source column. So source will be ascending. So from smallest alphabetical letter it will sort, and false means from uh, the largest value it will sort. That is whatever condition it is satisfying, based upon that it will sort. So well, that was all regarding introduction or small glance over this data manipulation about filtering and sorting that is seen in Python. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to get educated about this video, please do like, share, comment, and if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching this video.